Okay. Okay, awesome. That was Psycho Cyborg. I really appreciate that, Psycho Cyborg. Thank you. I just wanted to make, dude, the delays suck. So anyway, we are good. We are good. All right, we'll go right down the list. Hellfire. Maybe we should reset the queue. So, like, because I think a lot of people that have raised their hands are, may not be here anymore. Oh, I guess it says they're in here. Okay, we'll go down the list. Ty Martinez. I think we tried to speak to Ty earlier, but it...
testing.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, there we go. I can hear you this time. What's up, Ty?
Hi. Hey, Cohh.
How are you?
Good. Enjoying this ocean fishing.
Awesome. Well, hell yeah, buddy. So do you have a question?
Yeah, I'm wondering, is there any hobby that you've ever wanted to try that you just never got in, that you've never had the time or was just too expensive to get into?
That is a great question. And thank you for it. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. So the biggest hobby I wanted to do that I both did not have the time and especially did not have the resources for was motorcycles. I had been interested in motorcycles my whole life, but I'd never really been in a position to do anything about it. So recently, thanks to everybody, I actually got some motorcycles. I've been enjoying them and I really, really liked it. I basically, anytime in my free time these days, I go out on my bikes. Right now I'm riding mostly a 1000 SX, which is a Ninja 1000 SX, which I really like. And yeah, it's been a huge amount of fun. So I've really been enjoying it. That's probably been the big one. There have definitely been other hobbies I have been interested in. I'd love to, what is my bait here, by the way? I'd love to get more adept at cooking. And I'd like to actually do that here at the new house where we're getting some grills and stuff that are going to be really cool that I'm looking forward to. And do that and maybe some smoking as well. Is it krill? I really hope it's krill. Oh, it's plump now. Thank you. And then on top of that, there are definitely other things that I've been really interested in doing that I just haven't really had a chance to do. So honestly, life has been so busy over the last 8 years that I'm still figuring out what those things are. So yeah, that's basically that. But I certainly, as time goes on and the house stuff calms down and I start to be able to get more comfortable here and everything, then yeah, I think I'll be looking at all sorts of different fun things that I can do. So it'll be good. Anyway, thank you for your question, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. This time. Okay. I think we can take a few more questions here. We've got Commander Gorgonai. I like that name. What's up, buddy? You on my screen show is muted, by the way. I think your mic is muted. There we go.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. What's up, buddy?
Hi. I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm doing okay.
So this is Commander Gorgonai, and the kitten Yennefer. I decided to name her Yennefer since seemed like a good idea there.
Awesome.
So my question for you is, especially with kind of the success of your return in Final Fantasy, has that opened up the floodgates a little bit into maybe coming back to some of the MMOs that you looked at in the past to see if maybe some new content might keep your interest for a little while or might rekindle some interest?
That is a really good question. I have thought about that a little bit over the last the last couple weeks, especially. The big thing is I don't really think so, but I have a couple reasons why. Final Fantasy XIV is one of the only MMOs that I left almost purely because I ran out of content. Almost all other MMOs I just kind of got bored of for one reason or another. Like for Guild Wars 2, I played Guild Wars 2 into the ground. I was a server commander. I had a sunrise when there was like I literally think I had the second sunrise on the server. You know, it like I had a really great time in Guild Wars 2 when I played. Also, but at the same time, it was the kind of thing where when I was done with it, I was done with it because I was just so bored. Like there were no more goals left for me, and not just because there wasn't any content. There was just nothing else I really wanted to do. That I felt like I had accomplished all the goals that I had set out for me. So, for me, I'm a very goal-oriented person, and I need to kind of have those long-term goals under my belt to move me through the other parts of the game. It helps me focus on that kind of stuff. And with all the other MMOs right now, there's not really any of those goals for me to do. Like Guild Wars 2, I know there's been some expansions, but I still just never really cared too much. ESO, I actually tried to go back to ESO years ago when the Morrowind expansion came out, and it would just like there were too many things about it that still bothered me. You know, I do EverQuest every so often. I do go back to EverQuest new progression servers every so often. I'll probably do that again at some point, but that's just like a super, you know, chill thing to do. But really, at the end of the day, it's the kind of thing where unless the only reason I left is content related, I probably won't go back to an MMO. So, yeah, that's kind of where that is. It's a great question, though, man, and I appreciate it.
Yep, I appreciate all you do. For me, I have a very mentally taxing work, so I will quite happily go with my brainless MMOs and let you play all the games that I can experience through you so that I don't have to think about it at the end of the day.
I really appreciate that, man, and I have been in that position at many times in my life. I totally feel you, dude. And thank you for watching. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
This is awesome. Mr. Roman Tau. Who are we playing with? Oh, right now I'm just fishing and talking to people. Yeah, we're hanging out, doing a little AMA. Actually, actually, I need to take it out of my channel. My Discord stuff actually ended. I was only supposed to do this for half an hour, but yeah, it's actually kind of cool talking to you guys. It's kind of great. So I'm just gonna keep going with it. But yeah, for the record, we're no longer sponsored by Discord, and well, no, wait, we are sponsored by Discord, but the Discord sponsored segment is done, and yeah, that's all that is. Why do some people have 24k points? With what? Is this something you could see yourself doing again? Actually, yeah, it's been kind of fun. I think we absolutely could do this again at some point. It could be kind of cool. Oh, with their health? Oh, I have no idea. Cringe Generator. What a great name. Hey, what's up, Roman Town? How are you?
Hey, good. How you doing?
I am good, brother. What's up tonight?
Not much. Just playing some 14. I have a silly question for you.
Sure.
What is your favorite soup?
My favorite soup is a good, well-seasoned, slightly spicy potato soup.
Ooh, spicy sausage?
Love potato soup. I love potato soup with like a thick, lightly toasted sourdough bread. Oh, man. Oh, man. Maybe with a little bit of cheese on the bread. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! Woo! For the record, I said potato, but what I actually mean is lalafell. I prefer to spice up my lalafels a little bit. With the music.
Dude, I'm playing a lalafell. Come on now.
Oh, you sound delicious. Go on. But yeah, I would love to eat that. But yeah, that's probably. I love potato soup. I think it's great. I love that it's kind of hearty. You know, you can put like any type of protein in it, and turns out potato soup with bacon in it, like good thick cut bacon, is oh my lord, it's so good. It's so
Once you get smoke and smoke some pork belly.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of that. It's been great. Is potato soup, is that an American thing? I don't think potato soup's an American thing. I know a lot of people around the world eat potato soup. Yeah, it's basically just like it's like super it's like ultra mashed potatoes in soup form, essentially, you know, add in like some cream, heavy cream and stuff like that. And yeah, it's really good. If you've never had it, I would definitely recommend it. It's super good.
All right, thanks, Cohh. Thanks for the AMA.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Thanks for the question. I appreciate it. Now I'm hungry. No, I don't thank you for that, but I thank you for the question. Okay. Next up is Decor. Decor! Woo.
Good evening, good sir.
What's up, buddy? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I am good. Having a good time. How can I
So-
help you today?
You help me every day, as you do with many members of this community.
Well, thank you.
My question is somewhat related to what Guava asked earlier.
Sure.
You spoke a bit about how you react to receiving negative stuff, and you spoke a little bit about the positive side of things. But I, along with many of the members of the community, struggle with their lives and their health issues, mental health whatsoever, and you're a bright shining light in that aspect. My question to you on the subject is, how do you respond to receiving those DMs where you have an essay of information on someone's life and the struggles they're going through, thanking you and putting you on this pedestal in a way, and just how do you react to that in that situation? And how does that make you feel?
Good question. I receive messages like that every so often. I would not say a lot. And the first thing I do is just thank them. Because, you know, I appreciate the time they took to make it. I appreciate the fact that 99 out of 100 times when I receive a message like that, it's from somebody who I know helps the community make it what it is. It's so, I mean, really, almost every single message I receive like that is from a member of the community that I know helps make the community what it is. So, although I really appreciate them sending me the message, I also fundamentally appreciate the fact that one of the reasons, and I think a lot of them don't realize this, one of the reasons that they tend to enjoy the community is because they are themselves making that happen. So, you know, it's like I should be thanking them just as much as they should be thanking me. A lot of that stuff depends on the message. I do not have a boilerplate response for anything like that. I feel like that would be every message I get gets a response for that message. Even if it's just, you know, just a, hey, I really appreciate it. Thank you for being a part of our community, you know, that kind of thing. It becomes a bit more tumultuous if a message like that has obvious flags. I have definitely over the years received messages where I am immediately concerned about the person sending it for various reasons. And I've acted on that very rarely, but in times that I've felt I've kind of had to. But that being said, it's interesting because every so often when I get the message that puts me, that where they put me on a pillar, like you said, I know that I'm not that person. So like what I fundamentally understand, like when somebody says, like, you know, you're a bastion of positivity, I know who I am. I'm a guy that plays video games. We try to have a good vibes community. So in my mind, the person they're talking to is not really me, but it's the image and the station in which I inhabit. It's not Ben Cassell, the streamer. It's CohhCarnage. It's the guy that does that. So for me, there's a lot of disassociation there. So I and so I don't really like. It's a little. It's kind of hard to explain, honestly.
I can understand where you're coming from. It's the parasocial relationship that people have with streamers.
Yeah, I don't. It's a combination of self-esteem issues, introvert issues, and fundamentally having a disassociation with my public face and private face. You know, I realize I'm the person doing all that stuff, but at the same time, I also fundamentally understand that the person they're looking at is a person that I won't ever be, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like TLDR. I don't let it get to my head because I have the perspective that the person that is really helping them is not necessarily like me. It's what we all have made here. It's a best way I can say it is a community effort, and I am in a fundamental understanding that the reason people feel so good about this stuff is because of like the whole group thing we have going on here. It's not just me playing video games. It's the whole thing. It's the whole shebang. And actually there's more than often, I would say, I respond and make sure they kind of understand that. And also then try to stress that, like, understand you're a part of that. So, you know, as much as they're thanking me, thank you for continually coming back, for continually being a part of it, for bringing that positivity even when you're feeling negative, you know, that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Probably
Yeah, I mean,
long-winded answer to your question, but...
It's a long-winded question that has many layers to it that could be answered in different ways and approached in different aspects. I personally have ended up being in a situation where I've had to watch your streams from hospital. I've struggled with my health physically a lot over the last 7 years. And especially recently, I've come out of lurking and interacting with the community a lot more, especially with the FC for Final Fantasy. I'm Arcadius on the server.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Okay.
And that's been a huge, huge help for me, and just being able to interact with people that are like-minded, good vibes, and just having a blast playing a game I've played since launch that everyone is loving, and it's great to see. So thank you for that. Thank you for the community, and thank you to the raid team to help us clear 89 this week.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I mean, thank you for being a part of it. And I mean, you're the exact kind of person I'm talking about, dude. You know, this, we are all parts of a whole in this channel. There's no question. So, and thank you for doing your part too. We appreciate it.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, and we'll see you later.
Thank you. Oh man. Now, and for the record, like, and I wanted to say this in chat too, because someone was like, "Yeah, oh great, like a cult." There's nothing culty about it. It's a community, man. I mean, one of the first things I wanted to do when I started streaming, when I decided what I wanted to do with this channel, I decided I wanted the feeling of an MMO guild without the competitive toxicity. Because the best times in my life from a social perspective have been the times when I have been part of an awesome guild in an MMO. I'm not a very social person IRL. So for me, that was my best times. Like logging into an MMO, saying hello in guild and seeing, you know, 10 to 15 people say hi back. You immediately jump into any conversation that's going on. You know, you log in and you get like, you get a few tells from your buddies just checking in on you, seeing how you're doing. I mean, that is so cool. That is so cool to me. It's one of the reasons that, because since I grew up on the internet came so naturally to me. Where the whole, like, you know, like I have real connections over the internet with people, even if it's just chat. I've visited IRL people that I've met in games, you know, and I think that's been great. So yeah, I mean, that's how the whole thing is supposed to work. That's how it has been working. And I'm just thrilled that through Twitch, we've been able to find a large group of people that like to keep doing it too. It's been pretty great. So yeah. Vitalis says, I met my husband from playing WoW years ago. That is awesome. Congrats to you. That is fantastic. Zenny Thought, thanks for encouraging my subscription every month, Co. You're an amazing person. I'm glad I can contribute in a small way to continuing the good vibes. Appreciate everything you and the moderator team do. Zenny Thought with the 5 months. Thank you for that. Kagomi from earlier. I'm kind of really shy for things like this, so hopefully it wasn't awkward for anyone. Redoing Arcanum and Deus Ex would be totally awesome. Thanks for the great answer and opportunity. Co-Elf from Kagomi Fantasy. Kagomi, you did perfectly. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. And thank you for your time, Kagomi. That was awesome. That was awesome. Okay, we'll take one more question tonight. Let's take a question from Locairn. Maybe we'll do this again sometime. You guys have fun with this? I don't know if it was just kind of boring since I was just kind of fishing and hanging out, but maybe we'll do it again sometime.
Hi, so we good? You can hear me?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Yeah, hi. I'm gonna start by saying this is really weird that Decor came before me, because I was one of these person that like texted you, like I think it was like 4 months ago when my grandfather died, so I really took it personally. But anyway, my question was, I just turned 28, and at some point I realized that I didn't feel quite adult, and I was wondering if there was a moment in your life when you were like, okay, I'm an adult now because something happened, or if you're just all faking it.
Ooh, okay, so here's the thing. I don't feel that becoming an adult is like leveling up and changing your class. It is, which is what I think a lot of people think it is. I think it's the kind of thing where a lot of people think that one day they're going to wake up and it's going to be like, ding, like I'm an adult now, yay. But I don't think that's how it is at all. I think what it is it is the kind of thing you imagine if you have like 500 little points in your life in which you doing something would make you feel like an adult. And as you move through life, the older you get, you will hit one of those every so often. And I feel that after enough time and after you've hit enough of those single points that, and this varies for everybody, you will start to feel more like you are an adult. So one thing that can exacerbate that scenario is having kids, because you start to realize and hit those points a lot more often. When you're holding your son or daughter, it is hard not to feel somewhat adult. When you are changing their diaper, when you are telling them no, when you are giving a straight up dad talk to your 4-year-old, it's hard not to feel like an adult. At the same time, outside of kids, I don't get it super often. I get it sometimes when I'm doing taxes. I get it with my new house. I get it so often when I'm like scheduling and dealing with contractors, and when I'm having to think about what I'm going to do about, you know, the masonry that's broken over here, and I had to deal with getting gutters today, and like those little things. It's just like, ugh, you know, like at the same time though, funny enough, my reaction is that of a kid whenever it happens. Like even today, I was like, oh, gutters, this is so boring. You know, like, like I'm 37 years old, and it was just like, ugh. You know, like that kind of stuff. So I there's the two things I'll say is that, and the first thing is going to play into the second. The first thing is, like I said, it is a rolling and evolving process. And the second and most important thing I'm going to say is about this is that I feel people are an adult when they mentally want to be an adult. Because the reason I say that is that you are only as old as you want to be in your head. I know 80-year-olds that have just as much fun as 20-year-olds because their head is in that right perspective, and that's where they live. They are young at, there's the phrase young at heart, and that is 100% true. There's a reason that people have heard that phrase throughout their life, and because it is 100% true. You can be young at heart, and it does not matter how old your body is. It all depends on not only your ability to want to do that, but also your ability to not let life jade you down, to not get jaded by things, which everyone does differently, and in some ways is in the eye of the beholder. Like there are definitely things in my life that I've seen happen enough times, and I've just gotten sick and tired of seeing them, and then I will sit down and reorient my thinking on it a little bit, and those things will become a lot easier to deal with, or a lot more comfortable. And it's kind of like, and that would have not happened if I had not sat down and kind of mentally done what I needed to do to process those things. So it's a lot of it is based on you. If you're 28 years old and you don't feel like an adult, the next question me to you would be, do you want to? Are you saying that because you're chasing the feeling of wanting to be an adult? Or are you saying that because you're worried one day you're going to feel like an adult and you don't want to? You know, like it all depends on your perspective on it. So, and that is again something you're in total control of. So it varies from here. Let me TLDR the answer. It varies from person to person, and people are a lot more in control of that than I think they are. And that would be my answer to the question.
Yeah, for my part, it's more like being afraid of not being advanced enough in my life compared to what other people expect of me or what other people have when they are already 28.
Okay. Well, here's the important thing. Every single person you know and who is judgmental of you, including you, will be dead in 100 years. All of them. Almost none of them will have any meaningful impact on anything on this planet. They probably won't be in history books. They probably won't adjust anything majorly. What's important is what you feel like. What's important is how convinced and how happy you are at your own station. If you think you should be more advanced, fundamentally, not what other people think of you, but if you think that you should be in a better place for you, then that is a great motivator to start doing what you need to do to progress your station. If you are happy where you are and other people are telling you that you need to be in a better place, you need to have a better job or stuff like that, screw them, because it's your life and you get one life and that's your decision and it doesn't matter what they think. What matters is if you're happy. If you want to sell every possession in your life and go become a Buddhist tomorrow, good for you. If you want to work your ass off and get a financial job, make millions of dollars, good for you. Whatever you want to do, you do it. And as long as you're happy doing it, that's what's important. Because I can tell you this right now, a lot of the people that worry about where other people are in their life and their station, stuff like that, are generally miserable themselves because they haven't met their own goals. Don't be that person. Don't become that person. Just focus on yourself, basically screw everyone else, and go from there.
Applause, please.
There you go. That'll be my answer to that.
Well, thank you very much.
And for the
if
record, I wouldn't be where I am if I listened to the same people that are telling you that. So, yeah.
Yeah, fair point. So just shout out to the FC, quick second. This is Kern, and I hope you had a good trip.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate your time tonight, dude.
Good night.
Yeah, that music timing was kind of perfect. Oh, that was low, Karen. That was awesome. That was fantastic. Do not seek success. Seek fulfillment in life. That's it, says Day Night DK. I completely agree. I think that's a great way to say it. Don't seek success. Seek fulfillment. Doesn't matter how successful you are. If you are laying on your deathbed and you're regretting things that you've done. Because guess what? We're all going to be laying on our deathbed one day. If we're lucky. And if we regret things at that point, that's like, that's the worst. That's all that matters. That's literally all that matters. As long as, of course, your dependents are taken care of and all that good stuff, which is a different thing entirely, but you know what I mean. All right. We'll do one more because Boop to Snoot's a great name and we're going to hear what Boop to Snoot has to say. And then I am probably gonna get out of here. We'll go from there. D Polterghost says, well, I plan to live forever. That's a great goal. Good on you, dude. Good on you. Yeah. Hey, Boop to Snoot.
Hey, really?
Yep, can you hear just fine? What's up?
Doing good. How are you?
I am doing great. How's life?
Awesome. This was really great, and thanks for taking all the questions. Really appreciate it. I just had a random one for you. So I know most jobs have that some element that is always annoying, and you just have to do it to get to what you like to do most. So what, according to you, in your streaming has been that one thing that you really don't enjoy, but you have to do it as a streamer?
That is a great question. And that is one that has evolved over time. It has become a lot less prevalent. And I think this goes for all streamers. It becomes a lot less prevalent as you become more successful. But it's especially early in my streaming career, there's as people that have been around a long time know, there's kind of I have this theory where there's a triangle involving streaming. And the triangle has 3 points on it. And as a streamer, it is your goal to get as close to the center of that triangle as possible. And the 3 different points. Oh, I was having fun watching them kiss each other. The 3 points on that triangle are: the top is what is going to be best for your channel. The bottom left, like what game is going to be best for your channel. The bottom left is what's going to be the best for you. And the bottom right is when you do that thing. And for streaming, that's your goal is to get it as close to the center of that triangle as possible. If you want to grow on Twitch, you need to pick the right game. You got to make sure you enjoy it. And then you got to stream it at the right time. And that is how you progress on Twitch if you're not a giant streamer. So, unfortunately, when I was especially at the beginning, there were a lot of times when I played games I wasn't hugely a fan of. There were times when I had to do things or go in directions that just weren't 100% what I wanted to do because I knew it was good for the channel. The timing and stuff was a little weird at first when I switched. So there's all sorts of like you just make little sacrifices here and there because it's the right thing to do to kind of move forward. Thankfully, very thankfully, I've had a very supportive community, and my community started supporting me relatively early. So most of that kind of disappeared. These days, the biggest things for me are, well, first of all, before I say that, one of the other things is that I purposefully try to avoid things in my life in general, but also in my streaming career that I know lead me down the potential of having those types of issues. So to put it bluntly, there's a reason that I don't stream with a lot of other streamers. There's a reason that I don't get involved in that stuff. Like I don't like doing drama. I don't like doing he said, she said. I don't like putting myself out there to get let down, mostly because this has all happened to me at different times in the past. But it's the kind of thing where you can structure, at least I do, I structure my life and my career at a point to mitigate, to lessen the risk of that kind of stuff happening. So I can just have a good time and enjoy what I'm doing, because I know also fundamentally that as I'm supported by my subscribers, if I'm not having a good time, if I'm not as relaxed as I can be, I am not putting on my best show. So I'm not giving them the best value. And to get them the best value, I need to do everything I can to get me in that state so I can deliver the best show that I can. So it's that kind of thing. It's that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, in terms of like some of the early sponsorship deals that I took, I wasn't fully behind, and learning the lessons of that was kind of important. In a perfect world, I wouldn't need to take any sponsorship deals, but unfortunately that's not how it works with everything. I do only represent people that I like or people that I use, which is awesome. And I'm thankfully not in a position where I have to do anything else. In fact, I definitely have seen some relatively well-known streamers recently take opportunities for financial gain that are just like, what are you doing? Like, holy shit. But like that's on them. I can only imagine, like, it's really unfortunate because a lot of times, some of the people that I know have taken these, I know from things they said in the past how much they don't want to. So that makes me kind of feel for them on a level, because I know when they're taking it, there's probably something not great going on there. So which is really unfortunate. Like because it makes me be like, damn, it's weird because they're getting paid a lot of money. They're definitely getting paid for it, but at the same time, you kind of want to be like, sorry, like I don't know what pushed you to take that, but I'm sorry. Like that really is unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, it's thankfully these days there's not nearly as much, but over the years there have been things that something will happen, I'll learn from it and then do my best to avoid it moving forward. So it's that kind of thing. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for answering that.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Look at these little guys, these cute little potatoes. I literally want to eat you up with some chives and bacon, a little bit of sour cream. Anyway, yeah, absolutely, buddy. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. Well, guys, that was really fun. I really appreciate y'all being here for this tonight. That AMA lasted like almost 3 times longer than it needed to, and that was cool. This setup makes this really easy to do, so we definitely might do this again in the future. I mean, it's really chill to do this with Final Fantasy, and we can just kind of hang out and relax and talk. And it certainly was a cozy experience. It was chill. It was very chill. And by the way, big shout out and thank you to all of the people that asked questions tonight. Those were some fantastic questions. I really appreciated them. There was some real thought in those, and thank you for it. So yeah, I think we will do this again at some point. I don't know when. Maybe somebody earlier suggested maybe doing it once per month. That could probably happen. Yeah, I think we could probably do these once a month. Maybe make them like monthly AMAs or something, and kind of go from there. So yeah, it'll be cool. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. Have a great night, FC. And I hope you all have great evenings. Tomorrow I will be back. We're going to start with some Back for Blood. I think I want to try to finish the mission with Barry, and hopefully our other friend will be there tomorrow too. He was great playing with him this morning. So hopefully he will jump on tomorrow too. And outside of that, we may do some other stuff during the day. Maybe some Final Fantasy XIV main story, because I'm really digging that. And maybe some other stuff too. We'll see. Then tomorrow night, we're going to check out a game called Jupiter Hell, because frankly, I just want to see it. And maybe, you know, see how that's going. We also may try Going Medieval tomorrow. That could be something else we're doing too. So I don't know. We'll see. All right, my friends, have a great rest of your night, an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are around the globe. As always, thank you for your time. And I will see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. ET for more fun and games. Bye-bye.